Hey guys, it's Masterath here, and welcome back to more Global Trophy 2020.
Uncomfortably long pauses are really good for videos, you know that.
Oh yeah, well it pans out the video, doesn't it? Yeah.
We are here. We are here. Then
even though we've had like a couple of videos already that have been over an hour long.
I know. We're probably gonna have more than that. We're recording this out of sequence in case you can't tell. This is the Asia Qualifiers. Obviously, we've just seen the European Qualifiers, and what a performance from Scotland there.
Yeah, to make it to the semi-finals and beat the current world champions, Portugal.
I know, Portugal did well. They did well to beat England, and they made it through to the finals once again. They've done it before, but it's going to be tough to beat all the teams around them. Obviously, the Netherlands winning for winning the European section over Germany.
Yeah, and with France in there as well. It's going to be interesting. It's a pretty decent, pretty strong top 8 for them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Will Asia and Oceania be just as strong? Let's find out. So we'll kick off with our dud team here, which will be Myanmar.
Yeah, they were miles away from 7th place and pretty close to 9th, so they were fairly fortunate to even be a dud team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's very true. So, Broomy are going to be the dud team here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up is Dominican Republic, representing, obviously, New Caledonia.
Yeah, they did alright, didn't they? We were kind of surprised that. We didn't think they'd be up there, but they did.
Yeah, and they made it, so in the whole champion standings for every 4 years, they're going to get some points here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is good. Next up, it is Yemen.
Yeah, well into Yemen. They did alright in the end. They started slowly, but they got going eventually.
Yep. Next is our first of many stands with Afghanistan.
They got a couple of 12-0 wins in there, but they only scored 50-odd goals. So they, in the other 10 games or 12 games, they scored 30. So they scored, wow, they didn't score that many goals.
They scored how many, Sam?
30!
Ha
see? Now you've got to
Roll
say shut up.
reversal!
Now you've got to say shut up.
Shut up.
Ah, there you go. Alright.
Roll reversal!
Yeah, you see? We're out here.
Like Baby It's Cold Outside 2 years ago. Roll reversals! That made no bleeding sense. Next up, it is Turkmenistan.
They played really well. They were.
They finished 4th. That was pretty good for them.
Yeah, I think they did alright.
Next up, the Philippines.
They were unbeaten for so long, and then they just started to fade away right at the end. They got quite a few draws, though, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Well, did they end up on 1 loss, 2 draws, or something like that?
I can't
No, it was more than that, because the winners of that walked away with it, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, yeah. Yeah, they did, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, they had a really bad start to the preliminaries, but they fought right back to take 2nd, which is New Zealand.
Yep, one of 2 Oceania teams here. Obviously, the other one being Australia, but New Zealand, they didn't qualify a couple of years ago as well for the finals.
I believe they might have done, yes.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, and then we have the winners of the preliminaries, former Asia champions, Malaysia.
Yeah, surprising to see that they've fallen so low, but they have qualified. Well, they've got into the qualifiers at least, so they've got a chance of at least getting through to the finals. I think they're one of the stronger teams in Asia.
Exactly, and now to the teams that were able to qualify due to their FIFA rankings. These next 16 teams, starting off with Tajikistan.
How is Tajikistan ranked higher than New Zealand?
I don't know.
It's just so wild to me.
It is very odd. Speaking of that, North Korea's next up.
They recently played out. Was it a 1-1 draw with South Korea, or was it 0-0 draw? I can't remember. But I think they've qualified. They're in they qualified for the Asia Cup or something. I can't remember.
Yeah. I think I saw that at some point.
Yeah.
Next up, it is Thailand.
Yeah. Thailand's a beautiful country.
Lovely. Next up, home of now the most subscribed YouTube channel, India.
IST series.
Boo! Company. Company. I don't mean Vincent.
Oh, he's a legend, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm not talking about him. Yeah, he's great, but no, I meant...
Corporation.
Corporation. Boo!
Yeah.
I don't mean the corporation in wrestling from the 90s.
There you go.
We've got to think of another one now. No, sod it. We'll just move on.
We'll
Next up, it's Palestine.
You mean Palestine?
No, I was correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Palestine.
Definitely
Well, Palestine's
correct.
here. Palestine are a fairly decent side. Not like amazing or anything, but they've got a fairly good side about them.
Next up, Sam's most favourite Asia country, because I know exactly what he's going to say
Is it Bahrain?
when I say its name. Bahrain!
Was once shut down. A lot of Asian countries had a lot of like uprisings in like 2010, 2011, didn't they?
Yeah, so it seemed like it, yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of them.
Oh, I thought... you're not going to mention the racetrack?
No, it's got a nice racetrack, but that's about it, really.
Oh, there you go. Next up, here's a team that we've got a lot to say about. The Australia Killers. Jordan.
What a story. What a story that was last year. No one expected it, really.
Yeah, and Jordan just coming in from under our noses to beat Australia in the first round this time last year.
I know. No one saw it coming.
Next up, it is the Jesus Christ. Do you need any vowels, mate? It's the Kyrgyz Republic, or Kyrgyzstan as they used to be known.
Yeah, not one of the strongest teams out here, but you know, I'm sure they'll be competitive.
Next up, we have Lebanon, who has a lovely Christmas tree on its flag. I love that.
There you go.
I think it's just an ordinary tree, but it looks like a Christmas tree to me, because I think it's got like berries in it or something.
The Lebanon, huh?
Lebanon. I like Lebanon.
There you
Next up, it is Uzbekistan.
One of the many, many stands.
Exactly, and yeah, one of the interesting ones. And next up, it is Oman.
Oh man.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it really. That's all I've got to say
Great.
about it.
Okay, and Syria next up. We'll move swiftly onwards to UAE.
There's a lot going on in Syria, isn't it? But UAE's a beautiful part of the world as well, isn't it, these days?
And could we skip? Okay, Iraq is next. Could we skip over to the next one? I think. Okay, it's Qatar. Okay, can we skip over to the next one? I think. Oh, it's Australia. Thank you, Australia.
Beautiful country. I would love to go to Australia.
Full of things that can kill you.
Spiders, snakes.
And their cricket team.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong.
Next up, we would usually skip over them, but they are a top 8 team in Asia from last season, Vietnam.
Another beautiful country.
Beautiful country, and the one thing that just smacked the Americans in the face. That's always funny.
They just couldn't handle it, could they? The Americans couldn't go there and handle it. The
Well,
environment.
they just couldn't handle the environment of Vietnam, could they, with that?
No.
And use that to their advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair play, fair play to the Vietnamese.
Exactly, that's what you meant to do. Use your environment to your advantage.
Exactly, fair enough. And what's a better environment than essentially your own back garden?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, Kuwait.
I don't know much about Kuwait. Sorry.
Well, I could make Kuwait for the next team, but sod it, I'm not going to. Saudi Arabia.
I've already featured this year, haven't they? They made it to.
No, that was definitely Montenegro.
They didn't make
I don't know what you're talking about.
They didn't make it to the top 16, which is, kind of relieving, I guess. But
I don't know what you're talking about. They definitely didn't feature earlier this year. I don't know what you're on about. It's not the fact that this game is nearly 20 years old and doesn't know what Montenegro is.
what is Montenegro?
What is Montenegro? It's like it's a game of Jeopardy, this.
Yep.
Next up, Iran.
I ran so far away. Flock of seagulls.
Nice. Next up, it is South Korea.
Probably the best Asian team. They finished 4th in 2015, and they finished 2nd back in 2016. That was 4 years ago now, though. They did so well. They only lost to Spain in the final. I think it was only just as well.
Yes, indeed. It was a very, very good play there. No, very nice. I've realised I've messed up again.
What have you done?
Lebanon's in it twice. Again.
For fuck's sake.
Which means that China and Japan are both here, which means that Myanmar are safe and Tahiti's the dud.
Chris is so... I even warned you. Like, are you sure you got it right?
I'm bad.
The 2020 Global Trophy, forever known as the bad one.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, dear me.
Was it Tahiti or Taipei that finished?
It was Chinese Taipei.
Chinese Taipei. Okay, we'll add them in then. It's great. This isn't supposed to be a serious competition. I hope.
It's very serious competition, you know, obviously.
I disagree. It's not that I make my voice go hoarse by shouting Portugal the last 2 years.
Portugal!
You know, exactly. It's like making myself hoarse for 2 years shouting Portugal. It's certainly not serious. Right, speaking of the only thing that's really serious, will it do it first time?
So we'll be right back after these
messages. No, it won't. Why am I not surprised? We'll be back in a jiffy. And with that, folks, we are back. Third attempt on that one.
That's not as bad as... I think it was 5 before we've had, surely.
Yeah, but it's all like, it's a 50-50 chance. I'm just there going, do you know what? We're going to get the bad luck here now. So then we don't have the bad luck at the finals where it's worse.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The worst one is definitely the final.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the matches. So first off, we have Australia-China in round 1.
That's a massive match. A massive match.
Indeed. Then it's Taipei versus Oman. So Oman are going to get a free pass to the next round.
Quite surprising, to be honest with you.
Yep. Saudi Arabia versus the Kuj without no vowels Republic.
I think probably going to be a Saudi win there.
Yep. Jordan take on Iraq.
Probably Jordan.
Uzbekistan, Syria. Japan, Vietnam, New Caledonia versus the Philippines, and the UAE versus Lebanon. In the first half. So first off, Australia, China.
To start us off, that's ridiculous.
3-1 Australia, China out.
The Asian champions are defeated and Australia are back.
Yep, next it's Oman, Taipei. So Oman have got Australia in the second round.
No pressure.
No pressure at all, Oman.
What if Jordan could beat them?
True, it could be possible. Certainly could be. I mean, we probably... I
do feel bad for China. That's a rough draw to get early on. And in fairness, Australia as well, because China's not an easy opponent.
No, not at all.
It's a shame that one of them had to go home so early.
Yeah, but that's the draw pretty much. It's like the World Cup. Technically 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's all like all the tough teams were in the top bracket against each other. You know, it was nasty.
Yeah, and then all the NAF teams and Spain were in the bottom one, and obviously we were one of the NAF teams. We somehow made the semi-finals, and we still didn't make the final.
Yeah, fair enough. So next, Saudi Arabia versus the Kyrgyz Republic.
Saudi for me.
11-0. Yes, it is.
Easy peasy.
Indeed.
Easy peasy.
Jordan now taking on Iraq.
Dunno.
For a second round clash with Saudi Arabia, it's Iraq, but on penalties. It took penalties to take out the Australia killers.
But there they go. They've gone home.
They have gone home. And will Uzbekistan join them, or will it be Syria? We cough for Syria, who go through.
Easy peasy for Syria.
Japan now, here against Vietnam.
Again, two big teams. Vietnam aren't exactly a bad team.
Yep, exactly.
Japan have made the final a couple of times. Oh, in fact, they've won the Asia section before.
Well, they could be on the way to doing it again. 4-0 Japan. Vietnam out in round 1.
Congratulations to them.
New Caledonia now versus the Philippines.
Big moment then. Two qualifier teams.
Yep, and it's Philippines who go through.
And there go New Caledonia. That's a shame, but eventually it had to happen.
Yeah, a couple of extra points for them, I guess, for possibly the champions in 2 seasons, so possibly.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not, yeah. UAE now versus Lebanon.
If I was to go with one, I'd have to say it would probably be UAE here.
It is, but only by a goal. 1-0.
Hey, look, one goal's all that matters.
Yep. Palestine now versus Iran.
Iran for me.
Yep, 10-0. Definitely.
Yeah.
Next up, South Korea. They've got Turkmenistan.
Not an easy match for South Korea, but I've got to say, probably going to be a South Korea win.
Ooh, barely. Penalties sorts it.
It's a shame for Turkmenistan. They do all that great work in the preliminaries to just get through against South Korea.
Yeah. Speaking of stands, it's a battle of two stands. It's Afghanistan versus Tajikistan.
Afghanistan, of course, preliminary qualified. Tajikistan automatically got through.
And it's a 3-1 win for Tajikistan.
Wow, very impressive. Well done to them.
Myanmar now, with a lease of life because of the... What did I call it?
FLK.
The LFK. The LFK cock-up.
LFK, yeah.
Has got a chance, but they've got Malaysia.
Tough match. Malaysia have been very strong in the qualifier, in the preliminaries.
5-0, they're still tough.
There you go. Out. They didn't do a Greece.
Nope,
out
Malaysia
they
go through. Next up, it is North Korea versus Kuwait.
There you go.
8-0 Kuwait. Someone's getting shot.
Oh dear.
Bahrain versus Qatar.
It's a battle of the Gulf states.
It's a penalty win for Bahrain. Someone's getting shot.
Someone else is getting shot.
New Zealand versus Yemen.
No way. Crazy.
1-0 Yemen. Someone's definitely getting
some shooting happening.
Probably an animal, maybe. Someone's getting shot with a rugby ball.
Okay.
In the head.
In the head.
And here's a bit of a crunch match. India versus Thailand.
Two very strong teams again.
And Thailand knock India out on penalties in round 1.
That's what you get for subbing to T-Series.
That's what you get.
Yeah.
So, it's time for round 2. Australia, Oman to kick off. The winners of each of these matches goes through to the Global Trophy Finals.
Australia for me.
It is, but by the skin of their teeth. 1-0.
But they're through, and they have come back, and they have qualified for the 2020 finals.
Yeah. Saudi Arabia now versus Iraq. It'd be a shame to lose either of these teams.
It would be. I've got to say, though, for my money, I think Saudi have got this.
It is 3-0. Saudi Arabia go through.
Yeah, good result for Saudi Arabia, and through to the last 8 in Asia.
Syria now have Japan.
I think Japan are probably the favourites, but Syria are a good team.
Ooh, penalties decides it. And the win goes to Japan.
There you go, Japan through.
Philippines still fighting here, but they've got the UAE, which is not an easy match.
It's going to be a tough one for both of them, but I think, yeah, you are right. I think UAE are probably the favourites.
Yeah, 5-0. 5-0 UAE.
And they're through. So far, I think this is a very strong lineup for Asia.
Yeah, but we are about to lose either Iran or South Korea.
It's tough. I'm going to say South Korea to win this one.
1-0 Iran. South Korea out in round 2.
It's a shame. It's the first time in quite a while they haven't qualified, but it's a shame that they've gone.
Now it's Tajikistan. They've got Malaysia.
Malaysia have been very strong, and I'm going to think they're going to carry on through here.
Yes, penalties puts Malaysia through.
So far, both of the ones who won their preliminary leagues have also qualified for the finals.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So good luck to insert name of 2 teams here because we don't know.
No, we know who it won. It was.
There you go. Yeah.
Redacted. You see.
Yes,
redacted.
Those guys. Yes.
Yeah, redacted. Yeah. Sorry.
Right. Kuwait versus Bahrain.
Kuwait.
One of these teams is actually going to go through. It is Kuwait. 2-0. Kuwait are through to the Global Trophy Finals. And they'll take on Thailand or Yemen. Yemen is still in it.
They've got a chance. There were two preliminary teams that qualified in Europe.
Nope, it's Thailand. 4-2.
It's a very strong lineup for Asia. I think pretty much other than China and South Korea, this is the strongest you can get.
Yeah, and it's Australia, Saudi Arabia to kick off.
It's this is a 50-50. Flip of a coin. No idea.
The two teams that have represented Montenegro going against each other.
The two
Australia with the 3-0 win.
Yeah, the two most successful teams in Asia as well, and Australia through to the semi-finals again.
Japan now versus the United Arab Emirates.
Tough again to call. I'm going to go for Japan.
It's the UAE 2-1.
Good result for UAE there in the top four.
Yep, Iran now versus Malaysia. Malaysia still going.
I think this is where their journey ends, though. Iran are very strong.
It does end there. 1-0 Iran.
But Malaysia are through to the finals. Well done to them.
Kuwait now versus Thailand.
Pretty much the oddball still left it, but I'm going to go for Thailand.
It is 1-0 Thailand.
There you go.
So the semi-finals, Australia versus UAE.
Australia for me, they've been very strong so far.
The UAE have knocked them out.
Wow, so we're not going to see Australia reclaim the Asia Section Championship.
That's now 2 in a row for Australia, but at least they've made it to the Global Trophy Finals this time round.
They are back. It just proves that they are not immortal. They can be beaten.
Samson's had a haircut. They're weakening.
Yeah.
Iran, Thailand to face UAE in the finals.
Iran for me, but it'd be cool to see Thailand in there.
It is Iran, 2-0.
So UAE have the opportunity to win their first ever Asia Section trophy. Iran gunning for their first since 2013 and their third overall.
It is Iran, 2-0.
And that's their third Asia Section trophy, taking them level with Australia and China as the second most successful Asian team.
But with that, Iran have won, and Australia, I'd say a bit of a disappointment run for them.
At least they're back in the top. They're in the top four. They're back in the main section again. They're in the finals. They missed it last year for the first time ever.
Yeah, they are back in the mix. I'd say that. Yeah,
they can be happy with that, I think.
But yeah, that was odd.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising.
I thought they'd make it. I thought they'd just crush it like they usually do.
I thought they'd make it to the final. Iran was a tough team, so no disgrace to losing to Iran. But UAE did very well as well.
Yes, very good run for the UAE. So, the 8 teams qualifying from Asia to join Netherlands, Germany, Scotland, Slovakia, Greece, France, Portugal, and the Czech Republic in the Global Trophy Finals will be Iran, the UAE, Thailand, Australia, Malaysia, Japan, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's a strong lineup again from Asia. Not the strongest it could be, but it's a decent effort, and I think. Seeing Australia back in there is, I think they were missed last year. I think that's without a doubt they were missed in the finals last year. It's not the same without them in there, so we'll see how they get on.
Alongside the plethora of European teams that got knocked out as well.
Yeah, exactly. So
and Brazil.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see how they get on, but good run from Iran. Iran looking pretty solid at the moment.
Yes, indeed. So we're halfway. That is half of the Global Trophy finalists done. We have 16 teams there. We've got 16 to go. In the next 2 weeks, we'll find out which of these 64 teams will make it.
There you go.
And it's going to be very interesting to see. Because we've got some really good teams, like the Ivory Coast and Cameroon and Guinea and South Africa.
Liberia, last year winning it.
Yeah, Liberia as well. We've got Senegal, Nigeria, Brazil, Argentina, the USA, Mexico.
Still to come.
They're all there.
There you go.
And it's going to be very interesting to see if any of them are going to make an impact in either their qualifiers or maybe in the finals themselves.
But we'll have to wait and see. It's tough to call. It'd be nice to see an Asian team do very well, but
or an African team do very well.
Yes. Absolutely. Nigeria finished second before, so you never know.
South Korea finished second as well, so.
Yeah, exactly.
But it'd be nice to see a win from one of them, but.
Unlikely.
It just seems like Europe and America at the moment are just dominating it. If it's not Brazil or Argentina, then it's someone from Europe. But maybe this will be the year.
We'll see.
We'll see. Speaking of we'll see you next week for the Africa qualifiers.
Can Nigeria come back from... They struggled a lot last year.
Yeah, they finished, was it semi-finals, I think, then?
Yeah, exactly. You know, we didn't see, you know, for the first time we had a new winner of the African section. First time there was a new winner since 2008.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes on.
Yeah, it'll certainly be an interesting run, and well, oh god, the thing is, I'm hoping Cameroon have a good run because they just had a really bad run last time round.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see both of them in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, now that sort of like, I mean, you've got Italy's gone, you know, Spain's gone. This is now Asia and Africa's chance to build up as much of a good top 8 as possible.
Exactly. I agree.
And with a good top 8, they may go on to finally get a win. They very well could be, and we'll find out next week with the Africa qualifiers. So I've been Masterath.
I've been Sven-Göran Eriksson, 64.
And we'll see you next week for the Africa qualifiers.
See you then.